Okay, so we're going to go in the barn. We're going to talk a little bit about sheep. I've had my sheep for 4 years now. I made my initial purchase from Ken Parrott at Cold Creek Club Lambs. Ken is the ag teacher at Northmore High School. I started out with 3 ewe lambs and 1 ram. This one right here, this is Zoe that just walked away from us. She was one of the original 3. She's 4 years old now. She had a set of twins this winter. That's nice. This year I had a total of 7 mature ewes. Actually 7 ewes lamb. 4 were mature, and there's Zoe again. She's one of them that always comes up and greets me. The other one, it would be this one right over here. That's Chloe. That's her twin right there's twin sisters. But yeah, so I had 7 ewes, give lambs, 4 mature ewes, and 3 ewe lambs, which are just turned 1, and they lamb this winter as well. So out of those 7 ewes, I had a total of 14 lambs, 8 females or 8 ewe lambs, and 6 ram lambs. And so you can kind of see them all out there. I had mostly twins. I had 1 set of triplets, and I had 1 single. And so I'm just kind of giving you a show here. There's a round bale of clover hay that they're nibbling at. They've also got some grass hay in the feeder here. And then twice a day, I dump grain down into their little grain feeder. These 2 right here with the yellow tags, those were fair lambs for my daughter last year, and they both had twin lambs this year. I want to bring you over here. This is the new ram that I bought just this last weekend. His name is Papa Corona. That was voted on by our ag classes this week in their survey. And he's got a little spot there where he's got some grain and hay to work on as well. He was a November-born lamb, and I got him from the Delarbers. This is my mature ram. He's a 2015 ram, so he's almost, or is 5 years old. I just shore him off yesterday because I had something to do. And I'm going to turn the camera around here if I can. It doesn't look like I can, though. So we're going to do it this way and just see here. Okay. He's not a nice ram. He's actually pretty mean. And I'm kind of surprised that he's not charging at me right now, but he paws at the gate, he'll charge at the gate, he'll sharpen his teeth right here on the fencing. But yeah, he's thrown some really nice lambs, and I'm now going to pause and I'm going to see if I can pull some of those lambs off. Okay, so I pulled 6 lambs off, tied them up. You can see they're fighting the rope at varying levels here. This is the last one I caught, so he's still fighting it. This one's trying to jump out otherwise. But I just wanted to show you some differences here. Now, looking across these 6 lambs, you might say, oh, well, this one right here, they're just learning, hopefully, not to fight here. But you might think, oh, this big one right here, this biggest one, you would think the oldest one. But he's not actually. Actually, this one right here is the oldest one. And he and this little girl right here beside him are twins. And they're out of ewe lambs. So it was their first time lambing. And so their lambs weren't quite as big. But this one right here was out of my 4-year-old veteran, Zoe, and so he's nice size. Now the one problem was I didn't quite get his dock as far back. I'd like his dock to look a little bit more like this one right here, but talking to others, the surgery to do that isn't really worth the money. Woo! He's a jumper. And so this is a twin. He's got a twin sister about the same size as him. This little girl right here is having all kinds of troubles. I'm just going to let her go. She's just having all kinds of fighting troubles. But I want to get back to this one on the end. She's fighting it as well. She's my favorite one. She's got a nice wide hip. She's long through the loin. She's got a nice front. Her neck comes out of her shoulder really nice. Just really, really like her. Now, one of the reasons that she's doing really well, she is also out of ewe lamb, but she was a single, and so she's been getting a little bit more milk, and just really like the way that she looks. They have a creep pen over here where they can get through and get creep feed, creep hay. I got a bottle in there. The one that needs the bottle isn't using it. And I don't know where she is, but she's one of my triplets. She had a little upper respiratory infection, and so I've been trying to bottle her, but she's not taken to it. And it doesn't look like a very big pen, but I'm telling you, chasing them around in this pen can be quite a challenge. And then once I wean them, all the lambs will go over on this side with all the mothers over here, and it'll be loud and crazy for a little while they get used to being apart from each other. Look at this though, just after 4 or 5 minutes, they're starting to respect that halter and respect the rope, and do this every couple of days, and they won't fight you so hard when we're trying to train them to show and so forth. Okay, the last thing I'd like to mention is the types of feed I feed. Of course, I've already shown you that they have free choice hay in front of them pretty much all the time. Most of mine is a first cutting grass alfalfa hay. They've got a clover bale in the back as well. And then as soon as the pasture gets a little bit drier and starts to green up, they'll go out on pasture and I'll cut the hay back. Here, while they're milking and they're nursing their lambs, the ewes will get a corn and supplement pellet mix. I buy a supplement pellet, and then I take to my brother's and we grind some corn and mix in the supplement pellets. This batch got a little bit more ground than I wanted. I wanted it to be a little bit more cracked, but that's what we got, and they seem to like that. They get about between 3 to 5 pounds of that corn per ewe per day, and then about the same thing for the rams. The lambs are getting this textured creep feed. It's got a lot of molasses in it. You can see corn, pellets, there's soybean hulls, there's oats. There's all kinds of stuff in here, and they seem to eat it pretty well. I have noticed that they have started sorting it, and so I'm going to show you that. You can see what that creep feed looks like right there. Now let's go look in their feeder. And again, they're doing what's called sorting. And they're sorting out a lot of the big pellets and so forth. And they're leaving a lot of that oats. And so I'm not real happy about the sorting. And then the ewes and rams also have available to them all the time. This right here is bisodium carbonate, which is just baking soda. And this is a mineral. So the baking soda is just to keep their stomach functioning properly. Ruminant stomach needs to have a low pH or a proper pH, and the baking soda helps them with that. Also, if they were to accidentally get out into the pasture and eat some really ripe green grass, it would upset their stomach, and the baking soda would help prevent that. The mineral is just like you taking a vitamin or a mineral each day. The mineral is just to supplement them, make sure they get all the minerals and all the nutrients that they need, all the minor nutrients and so forth. And so that's pretty much what we feed. It takes me about 3 of these each feeding for the ewes and the rams, and it takes about 2 of these right now, and that's been doubled in the last week for the lambs each feeding as they continue to hit that creep and eat hard.